Hey guys, we are in the basement, and would you believe I got a new camera? That's right, we're gonna be having some much better looking videos going forward here. I mean, would you believe that I have filmed all of my videos with this crappy little point and shoot camera? That's right, so I finally upgraded today. I was actually at Best Buy and they had an awesome open box deal on a pretty nice Sony camera. Now this camera has awesome image stabilization, so hopefully you guys won't be getting sick anymore when you watch my videos. I think they're gonna be a lot smoother now. And also I'm gonna be uploading videos at 1080p. Now I also have a few frame rate options. I could do this at 24 frames per second, or 60 frames per second, or 60i, or 60 interlaced frames per second. I actually did some experiments today. 60p I cannot do because iMovie and Aperture will not allow me to import 60 frames per second. 24 frames per second is pretty cool because it has like that film look. But I actually have decided to do 60i today because with 24p you can really see the monitors flash, and I think this is going to work out better in the long run. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on the video quality and also the frame rate, and in general, you know, is this a step in the right direction? Anyway, today we're here to talk about a game that for some reason I never reviewed. And I don't understand how I didn't review this game because I bought this game a couple years ago, and I recently, in the last week, I realized I never reviewed Centipede and Millipede. I don't understand how I didn't do that. So today we're gonna spend some time talking about Centipede and Millipede. I actually have the multi-kit in my game, and I'll actually open the cabinet up, and we'll show you guys kind of how it hooks up and all that stuff. The game was released in 1981. It was designed by Ed Logg and Dona Bailey. I think Dona tends to get more credit for the game because she was a female designer, and everyone likes to always say that, you know, a female designed Centipede, but I think Ed Logg was kind of the lead designer on it. Anyway, why don't we go upstairs and take a look at Centipede and Millipede. Okay, we are upstairs. So this is my dedicated original Centipede Cabaret. Now they made this game in 3 flavors. Technically, they had a full-size upright that had side art on it, and it was a much larger cabinet. The full size is actually a great looking game. They made a cocktail version, and then they made this cabaret version, and this is kind of like a smaller upright cabinet. The nice thing about Atari cabarets from this era is they used full size monitors. This is a 19-inch monitor. This is the same monitor that you find in the full size game. Now downstairs I have the Tempest Cabaret, which is the same thing. It's actually the same cabinet profile with a 19-inch 6100 vector monitor. This is a G07, which is a standard raster color monitor. So I really dig these Atari Cabarets. These ones though, the previous ones like Asteroids and Battlezone, they use smaller 13-inch monitors and not nearly as cool as these. I also like the marquee down here, and I guess in the factory they would add lights behind the marquee on some of the games, but not all of the games. So this particular one did not have a light behind it from the factory, so the guy actually bought it from put a light in there, so that lights up now. My Tempest actually has a factory light in it, so for whatever reason Centipede didn't light up, and I don't know why they wouldn't do that standard on all of the games, but so mine has an added light. Now again, I have the Braze Multipede high score kit in this. I'm actually running a Millipede board with the kit because the kit is designed for Millipede. It will not run on Centipede. So even though I started out with a Centipede PCB, and I had to go out and get a Millipede PCB and then put the multi-kit in there to play Centipede and Millipede on this. What's nice about the kit is that it does save all 10 high scores. By default, on most Atari games, they'll only save the first 3 scores. That way, every day someone has a chance to get on the leaderboard because it's essentially resetting the bottom 7 scores. And you can actually see Don Hayes put a killer score on my machine. If you guys don't know who Don Hayes is, he's actually a multiple world record holder. He actually has the world record for Centipede. He had it for Frogger and a bunch of other games. So Don put that score in here, which is almost 1,000,000 points. I'll never get that score off of my machine. Also, the previous owner added a light-up trackball, which I kind of like. Normally, this would just be a white trackball. It's got the standard light-up buttons here. That they call these Atari cone buttons. And I love those. So because it's on free play, these are always flashing, saying, hey, push me. And there's a fire button. So basically the controls are just a trackball and a fire button. So I tell you what, why don't I set up the tripod and show you guys how Centipede plays. And also show you Millipede too. Okay, we have the tripod set up here, and one quick thing, you know, if we were to press the 1 and 2 player start buttons right here, it'll actually switch over to a Millipede, but we're not going to do that. So I'll show you guys Millipede after we play Centipede. So again, I have the game on free play here, and so let's go ahead and press the 1 player start button. Let me back up just a hair. And the controls, again, are just a trackball and a fire button. And, you know, this is one of those games that you can't really play very easily on MAME, I guess, unless you have some sort of a USB trackball or something. So the object of the game is here. We basically have these centipedes that are descending upon the player, which is right there. That's me. And every time I shoot those centipedes, they're going to divide up into smaller pieces. And so basically you want to kill them in a row so that you don't have too many little pieces to deal with. Because when they split up into one single piece, it's kind of a pain in the ass. And then we have these spiders. And the closer the spider is to you, the more points you will actually score. So you kind of want to kill them when they're close to you. And then we also have these mushrooms. Right now we have these little flea guys that are dropping down, adding more mushrooms to the board. And basically when the centipedes hit the mushroom, they turn around and go in the other direction. And so the control, I can move my guy up, down, left, and right. All right, so let's see if we can do a little better here. Now there's a lot of different strategies for this game. The strategy that I probably prescribe to is don't die, but there is some strategy where you kind of create a tunnel in the middle, an opening, where you always keep this center clear of mushrooms, and then later in the game you'll get the centipedes to kind of come right down the middle. So I'm just kind of trying to keep this area open. Oh fuck! All right, let's try it again. But I mean, this really is the game. It just gets harder and harder. It is actually a pretty great game, though. It is an uber classic for sure. And by the way, there is like an auto fire, like a turbo type deal on this, so you don't have to keep pushing the fire button. You just hold it in, and your little guy will just wail fire shots out. Those little flea guys that drop the mushrooms, you actually have to shoot them twice. So it is a little dangerous to get underneath them, because you might only get one shot off. And when he gets down to one segment there, he speeds up. Alright. Shit. Ah! But, yeah, I mean, this is the game. Not much more to it than this. But it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The game gets harder. The color palette starts changing. One thing worth noting, though, because this is the multi-kit and because we're running on the Millipede hardware, Millipede actually had a slightly different color palette than Centipede. So the colors, when you put the multi-kit in for Centipede, aren't quite exactly the same as an original Centipede PCB. I don't think it's something that I notice at all, but I guess if you put them side to side, you would notice that the color palette is a little bit different. Okay, so why don't we switch over to Millipede? Now, Millipede was kind of the sequel to Centipede. It came out a year later in 1982, and they added all kinds of new things to it. There's dragonflies, there's mosquitoes, there's bees, there's beetles, there's the earwig, the inchworm, there's a DDT bomb that you have to kill, and of course the Millipede and the spider. So why don't we go ahead and start a Millipede game? And this is something that kind of bothers me. Atari loved to do this. If you wanted to start on a harder level, you'd actually get a 30,000 point bonus. So look at, I started on a higher level, and I already have 30,000 points. So first thing you're gonna notice about Millipede is that it is much faster and more frantic than Centipede. I mean, it is a lot more challenging. It really is a very, very different game. But I like them both for different reasons. Centipede is kind of a purer experience. It's a little more relaxing. This game keeps you on your toes. I mean, Centipede is no slouch either as far as difficulty, but this really ramps it up. I just killed that little inchworm there, and it kind of puts a slow-mo on the screen. You see those little DDT bombs? So when you shoot those, you get a little explosion, and it kills whatever is near there. And now we have these like mosquito things coming down, laying more mushrooms down. I'm actually doing okay here. But, you know, it's the same core gameplay as Centipede. They just added a lot more baddies and made it just more extreme. See if we can get that inchworm. All right. Now you saw the Millipede was coming down the screen rather fast, because if the Millipede hits one of the poison mushrooms, he'll make a beeline for the bottom. And all right. But yeah, this game is just craziness. It's madness. I love it though. All right. I definitely though do advise though, if you do get a Centipede or a Millipede, definitely buy the multi-kit. Because it's really great to have two games in one cabinet, and there's really no reason to have both of these games in a collection, because I mean, the cabinets are definitely different, and they have great artwork, but they're the same core gameplay, and they also have the same control scheme. And in Millipede here, we can also continue our game, so to speak, so we can continue now on a higher bonus level, because we started the first game at 30,000, we passed the level, we got to 45,000, so now we can continue at 45,000, which I did right there, which I think is a little cheap. So, all right, so I tell you what, why don't I'm gonna turn the lights on, and why don't we pull the game out, and I'll show you guys kind of how the Brazington kit hooks up and all that. So let me pull the game out, and we'll be right back. Okay, I pulled the game out, so let's go back here, and I'll show you guys kind of how this all hooks up. And you know what? This new camera's got a light. Look at that. So down here is the PCB. That's a Millipede PCB. Now the thing is, though, Millipede does not plug directly into a Centipede wiring harness. So I had to get an adapter, which is this right here, that allows me to plug the Millipede board into the Centipede harness without doing any modifications to the cabinet or the wiring. So this is says here Millipede PCB to Centipede Adapter, and that is from arcadeshop.com. I also got the Braze kit from Arcade Shop as well. Look at this piece of foil right here. That is not good. Man, if that touched the board, get a short. Okay, so back here, is the actual kit. And you'll see there's two daughter boards. There's one there and there's one down there. So that's basically the kit right there. You basically are going to remove, looks like 3 chips, 2 EEPROMs, and also the CPU down there, and plug it into those boards, and then plug them into the Millipede board. And that's basically all there is to installing this kit. It's pretty simple. It's 2 daughter boards, and then you're going to need the Millipede to Centipede adapter. If you don't have, if you have a Millipede cabinet, you don't need this adapter at all. But if you have a Centipede cabinet, you need the adapter and also a Millipede board. So that's basically it. I guess while we're in here, I kind of show you guys around. This right here is an AR power supply. Atari basically uses these in most of their games, and this is an AR2. It's kind of an audio regulator, they call it, which is what it stands for, but it's their power supply. Also has an audio amp on it. And the monitor here is a G07. And I have rebuilt this monitor. I replaced the flyback and all the caps and all that. So that's basically it. And also, while we're back here, this is my Miss Pac-Man. And I actually put a MAME setup in here, and you can see back here, here's where the PC hides. I didn't put the PC in the cabinet. I really didn't see any need to do so. So I just put the PC out the cabinet, and I ran all the wires in through there. And that's an old crappy Celeron that's basically running my MAME setup. But it does a great job for the classics like Pac-Man and Galaga and all that. So, all right, guys, that's basically it. So why don't we go down to the basement? And there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I mean, Centipede is definitely an uber classic. Anyway, guys, thanks for subscribing to my little channel. And if you've never subscribed, now is a great time to click that subscribe video. I'm going to be releasing 1080p videos every Sunday. So click that subscribe button, and when I upload a video, you'll get a little alert. And also, if you guys, should check out my podcast. I don't know if you know this, but I have been doing a podcast for about 9 years now. It's called The Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com. We do that show live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern at allgames.com. That's Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, allgames.com. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Later.